I gained 68,737 new followers in just 30 days on my old Instagram account following these 6 core strategies. So let's get into it. Now, the first one is that we focused heavily on 2 formats of content that we knew performed the best for us, doubling down on what worked. Now, the first format of these is obvious, Reels, but we also added in another format of video content where we would design a cover photo for it and then swipe across to the full video and posted it as a 2-part carousel. I'll chuck a good example of this up on the screen, but these worked really well because they grabbed attention when they were on the explore page, like a regular image would, where we can design it, have the colors pop, have the text pop out, have a good image, but they also had really good watch time and retention because they're videos. And so when you combine the 2 of these together, it performs really well. Now, the combination of these 2 formats of content helped us get the account pushed aggressively in the Reels feed, suggested in-feed content, and also on the Explore page, which helped the content go viral. What you need to do is figure out exactly what format of content works to your niche and your strengths, and then double down on it. Reels and video content are the obvious choice, but if you are an incredible designer, do not shy away from going all in on carousels or infographics or single images either. Test a bunch of stuff, figure out what you are best at, what you can crush it with, and focus on that. The second thing we did is we posted anywhere from 3 to 6 times per day, which is a lot, but posting more in general as a rule of thumb will help you with your reach and growth. The more content you post, the more data Instagram collects on who enjoys your posts, the more data you collect on what posts perform well, and the more pieces of content you have getting reach for you, and the more chances you have of going viral. Now, this account specifically was a theme page, so it made it easier to post multiple times a day. We could just hire a designer to make a bunch of posts and then get them out there. If you're a personal brand or a business, aim to keep increasing your posting frequency until you are posting almost daily, as that's often the sweet spot, about 5 times a week. Now that Instagram have released the new feature of trial reels, you can even leverage this to post 1 main piece of content per day whilst testing variations of the same content as trials to grow faster and learn faster. But this is only if you're posting reels. Now, these levels of posting are only achievable for theme pages or large brands with big teams. For personal brands, 3 to 7 times per week is fine, but as I said at the start, more content is usually going to increase your growth, assuming everything else stays the same as far as quality goes. The third thing that we did was we leveraged trending content, taking things that were topical in the news and turning them into content. This content always performs better as it's timely and relevant. You can add this to your own content strategy by making a post each week about something trending in your industry. This can literally be as simple as taking a screenshot of a trending news article in your niche and then reacting to it on the green screen feature. Simple content that performs really, really well. I'll chuck up an example on the screen of trending content that we made that did really well. There's also countless clients that we've worked with that have made all of these fancy pieces of content that some of them have performed really, really well. But more often than not, really simple content, simply reacting to something in the news is 9 times out of 10 going to outperform any other format of content. Now, tip number 4. Now, the 4th thing we did was consistency. And this is probably something you've heard a million times, but anyone who grows fast in a short period of time, chances are has weeks, months, or years of consistency beforehand to build their skills, build their audience, and build that momentum. We find that this consistency builds your reputation in the algorithm and gives Instagram a ton of data, which can lead to really strong results, which in some cases might seem overnight. What you need to do is build a foundation of consistency before you even expect things to take off. If you start implementing the above strategies today, it may not necessarily turn into a big month of results next month, but if you do it for 2 or 3 or 4 months, then down the line, all of a sudden you've built up that reputation, you've built a strong foundation, and things can take off. Now, the 5th thing is we leverage other accounts to find outlier content. What we did is we had a list of 20 pages in our niche that were absolutely smashing it. Then every couple of weeks, we would go scroll their Reels tab, or scroll their content and look for outlier content. This is content that performs significantly better than the rest, as Instagram have noticed people engage with it and they really push it out there to huge amounts of people. And it's typically the top 5 to 10% of content on any page. When you look at a page, you will notice a trend of what normal videos or normal posts get engagement or view wise, and then it becomes obvious what content has soared well beyond that. Save these posts and come back to them for ideas, inspiration, and just figure out what works. What you don't want to do is just copy this content or recreate the exact same thing, but you do want to take note of what they did that caused it to perform so well. Look at the subject of the content, look at the edit, look at the length, look at the hook, look at the way it's put together, and you will notice patterns within these high performing posts that you can then use. We would then take these patterns, write them down, and have that as a checklist for our content. And then when we create our own content, we would bear these things in mind that we know work. If you only learn from your own content, you limit your growth. If you also learn from hundreds or thousands of other posts in your niche, both what performs well and what performs badly, you will be able to learn and grow so much faster. Now, before we get on to the final tip, if you do want one-on-one help to grow your audience on social media and generate more revenue, I have reopened some consulting spots where I work with people. I typically only take on 2 to 3 people a month so that I can help them get awesome results. But if you're interested in that, you can apply in the link I've left in the description. And if you're a good fit and I think that I can help you, then I'll reach out. Now, the 6th and final tip is posting at peak times. Now, as the algorithm evolves, this is less important, but it still makes a difference. The more early engagement you can get, the better. The best time to post we found was always in the evening, followed by the morning, followed by lunch break. If you post once per day, then go for the most engaging time, the evening. If you post twice per day, go for the evening and then the morning. And if you post 3 times per day, go for all 3. Now, if you post more than 3 times, you can then add a second one in the evening, maybe 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. kind of thing, and so on. Now, because Instagram is a worldwide platform, evening is different for everyone. My evening at 7 p.m. here in New Zealand is 8 a.m. in London, it's midnight in LA, and it's 3 a.m. in New York. So if you want a US audience, this is a terrible time to post. Choose your posting time based on the audience you want to reach. If the US is a priority, I might post at 8 p.m. New York time, which is 5 p.m. in LA, and it's noon here. So I catch all of the US in peak time and then New Zealand at lunchtime. And then as the post is a few hours old, it starts hitting evening time here. Now, as content can be recommended on the platform for weeks, months, sometimes even years after it's been posted, you can obviously still reach people from every country, and you can reach people from these countries weeks after it's gone live, but you do want to try and maximize your early engagement on the platform to optimize your reach and get the algorithms to push your content. And you want this early engagement to be from the audience that you want to grow and reach, so that the algorithm shows it to more of these people. So those 6 tips helped me grow an account, 68,000 followers in a month before selling that business. If you want more free tips on how you can grow your audience and how you can build your following, go check out my other videos, and I will see you in the next one. Instagram have just released a new feature called Trial Reels, allowing you to post reels that are not shown to your followers, but instead shown only to new people